Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Okay. In our previous class, we have discussed about the connective tissue. Okay, we have already covered epithelial tissue and connective tissue. So, which type of tissue is found to connect bone to bone?
Sir, cartilage.
Lymph.
What is it?
Sir, lymph, sir.
Lymph. Lymph and cartilage are going to connect bone to bone.
Sir, ligament.
Ligament. Ligament is going to connect bone to bone. Okay. So, fibrous connective tissue, tendons and ligaments. Okay. Joint is there. Between the bone and bone, the ligament is going to join, and between the muscle and bone, tendon is going to join. Okay. Today we are going to look at the muscular tissue. So the muscular tissue, as the name suggests, it is the tissue of the muscles, and its property is that it can contract and it can relax. This property of its ability to contract, okay, reduce its size, become constricted, that helps in the movements in the body. There are the three types of this muscular tissue. One is the striated, striped voluntary or skeletal muscles. The second type is the unstriated, unstriped or smooth muscles. And the third one is the cardiac muscles. Cardiac, I think most of you are able to guess. It is found in the
Heart.
heart. And this striated unstriated, striped, unstriped. Stripes means what? Stripes.
Sir, lining.
Lining, some kind of lines will be there. Okay, so just like we say sometime the design on the shirt is striped pattern. So that means there is a lot of lines kind of pattern is there. Okay, striped shirt. So striated, striped, okay, meaning the same. Voluntary means,
Sir, that can be means we can control that.
under our control. Okay, whatever the actions are there, they are under our control, is under our will. It is our voluntary action. These are also the skeletal muscles. That is, these muscles are directly attached to the skeleton. The other one are the unstriated, unstriped or smooth muscle. Okay, that means they won't have these patterns of lines kind of pattern, and they appear to be smooth muscles. Okay. So these two types of muscles along with the cardiac muscle. So we can look at this image to better compare the three types of muscles. First we will see this one, that is like in the legs and hands. You know, the type of muscles generally the bodybuilders, okay, they want to build up the mass, these kind of muscles. When we look under the microscope, then these muscles will show this kind of pattern. So we are able to see that some line is there, you know, all something. But when we compare this with the smooth muscle, see, we don't see those line kind of things under the microscope. So that is why this is called a smooth muscle, unstriated, unstriped. Okay, and it is found in this kind of soft tissues like the intestines, stomachs, and all these kind of soft tissues. Whereas the striated, okay, or striped or voluntary, because we know very well hands and legs movements all voluntary, they are under our control, or skeletal muscles because they are directly attached to the skeleton. These can be easily compared. Here you can see they have a prominent nucleus because these are cells. Okay, cells will have nucleus. All of them are having cells, and when we compare the general structure, you are able to see that the skeletal muscle is bundled together like this. Okay, because it has to do some rigorous activity, you know, you want to lift some kind of weight and all those things, so you need real good strength. So here these muscles are all made into bundle, it's like cable. You know, you can see the bridge, some of the bridges, they are constructed with the help of only cables. The whole weight of that one is on some cables only. If you look at the structure of those cables, they are made up of small wires, thin wires. So many thin wires will be together bundled. So what is happening? Huge strength will come from that. If you make one thick wire versus you have 1000 thin wires, which will be more strong?
Sir, 1000 thin wires.
1000. No. You think about it. What is happening? The 1000 thin wires will be more strong because what happens once there is a stress. Okay. So then there will be a breaking point. Somewhere there will be a breaking point. At that breaking point, when it is one continuous fat wire, okay, one continuous fat wire, if there is a crack, okay, if there is certain damage, then immediately it will translate and it will rupture that wire. Okay, but once it is made up of so many thin fibers that are bundled together, even if one fiber, 10 fibers will break, that is not going to affect the other fibers, and all these fibers are like this twisted among each other. So at one point there is a break, but at other places again it is like this linked. So therefore what is going to happen, the damage is not going to immediately transfer. Okay, the complete is not going to break, so more strength is coming because of this bundled kind of.
It will be distributed in all the wires.
The load is being distributed in individually thin wires. It is distributed. Okay, and that you see, even this much science people don't know. Before also they used to talk. Oh, there is one finger individually, 5 fingers are there in the hand. Separate, there is no strength. Okay, even as thick as the hand, it may be one finger, but when it is together, it becomes very strong. Similar things are there. In the smooth muscle, what is happening? That you can see there is no bundle of that kind of appearance. They are more like a spindle shape, that is the ends will be tapering, they will be thin, in middle it will be thick, that is a spindle appearance. And when we compare this skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle, here also we are seeing that some broad stripes are there, like here overall we are able to see some stripes are there, but when we see the microscopic one, they are not so prominent as that one, but it is having stripes are there. But major difference is, you can see here there is some kind of branching, but in the case of the skeletal muscle it is bundled. That is one of the major difference between the cardiac muscle and the skeletal muscle. So what is happening, the cardiac muscle, when we compare with the skeletal muscle, the cardiac muscle is voluntary or involuntary?
Involuntary.
Involuntary, not under our control. If we want simply by our thought, by our will, the heart should pump at rocket speed, that is not possible, or it should slow down, not possible. Okay, so it has its own way of functioning, that is involuntary. The cardiac muscles have involuntary, they are striated, they have those striped patterns, they are branched. Okay, these are cardiac. So almost 50% we will see individually. So these striated or skeletal muscles are found in arms, legs, neck, 50% of our body weight. They are made up of the long fibers which are nucleated and striated. There is a light and dark bands that are running across the fibers. They are under the control of our will. Okay, so these are all the features of these skeletal muscles. When compared to the smooth muscles, they are found in the walls of the intestine, helping in the passage of food, because you know very well in the digestion what is happening, there is a peristaltic movement. Okay, that is when we eat food, food has gone into the stomach, and in the stomach after going go and sleep, simply go and sleep, watch television or watch play some games or in the mobile and sleep, simply sleep. So how the food is going to digest, how is it going to move? So even we are not moving, the food has to be digested. Okay, there should be a movement of that food through all these intestines and all. That is by the contraction and expansion of these intestines. Which kind of muscles? Smooth muscles. They are not under our control. We cannot dictate, digest fast, I want to eat again within 1 hour only, cannot do it. It will move its own pace. Okay, found in the wall of the intestine, helping in the passage of food. The muscles of the iris of the eye. Iris of the eye. Okay, what is the iris? Have you heard this term before?
Part of the eye.
Yes, it is the part of the eye. But immediately what comes into the mind is, when you talk about the iris, it is the shutter of the camera. So the maybe most of you would have seen some like James Bond movie or something. So initially there is one kind of this one, right? There is some kind of, it closes like this and opens like this. Okay, so it's like a circle. Okay, the circle will close and it will open. So that is the shutter. Basically inside the camera When we are taking the snap of the camera, continuously we cannot allow the light and everything to come na. That is only if you are shooting a video. If you are shooting a video, then you will keep the shutter open continuously. Okay, but if you are taking a photograph, okay, photograph of a moving object, for example, very fast moving car is there, you want to take a photo of that. So the shutter of your camera, it should be so fast that as the car is moving, it should at a millisecond, how fast your shutter will close and open, it will capture that much clear image. So it is nothing but it is a shutter. Iris is the shutter of the eye. So when you are going into a dark room, the iris, it will open up completely because very less light is there. We want the eye to receive more light, but once you are in the bright, then the iris will become very small. How this iris is working? It is not under our control. So when I am going or anyone is going into a dark room, we are not okay, iris open up, I want more light. No, that is not happening. Iris, muscles of the iris are not under our control. The lining of blood vessels. Okay, so in your class 8 also you have studied arteries and veins. So the arteries are thick or veins are thick?
Sir, veins are thick.
See, which of these arteries and veins have giving the extra pressure to the blood, flow of the blood? Of course, heart is pumping. Heart is pumping to allow the blood to flow. Okay, but in addition to that, the muscles of the arteries, okay, they are also having a thick wall, muscular wall, and because of that they can contract and expand. So when it is also contracting and expanding, that is also giving jerk more of the speed, increasing the speed of the blood, the flow of the blood. Okay, so the lining of the blood vessels also having these smooth muscles. We are not controlling it, it is not under our control. The urinary bladder, okay, even the urinary bladder is made up of the smooth muscle. It is not the striated skeletal muscle, it is a smooth muscle. The uterus is also a smooth muscle. So these are all examples of the smooth muscle. They are not functioning under our control. They are made up of the spindle shaped slender tapering cells which are uninucleated. They are not under the control of our will. Okay, next, the cardiac muscles found only in the heart, made up of the short striated uninucleated and branched fiber cells. They can contract without stimulation and do not get tired soon. Okay, so sometimes what happens, is it possible that the person died and heart is beating?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when we say a person is,
But it will happen only till oxygen is, matlab, the heart is getting oxygen till then only it can happen.
okay, for example, suppose there is a certain condition that there is a brain damage. Okay, some kind of brain hemorrhage or brain damage has taken place. Remaining part of the body is functioning. Brain only some cells, some blood vessel or something capillary in the brain, it got damaged. That's what you say brain hemorrhage is that. So do you think the heart will stop functioning immediately?
No,
No,
sir.
sir, it will work for
It will
a
work.
while.
It will work
So it will
because
take time.
the heart is not getting signal from the brain. That mostly what students and most of the people are thinking, that the brain is giving the impulses or signals to the heart that you have to beat, now the person is running, so you need to increase the speed, pulse rate will be increasing, the more of the impulse is giving to the heart to increase the electrical activity. But the fact is the heart is not talking to the brain directly, it is talking indirectly but not directly. So even if the brain has got damaged for some span of time, till when that oxygen deficiency sets in. Until then, the heart can continue to beat. In fact, surgical procedures, the heart is cut out. Transplant, take the heart from one person, do the transplantation to another person. Then what is happening is, even after you take out that heart, it will continue to do that blub 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 blub. It will continue to do. Okay, so that is what is being told here.
Good heart is not receiving any signal from the brain, sir. How it will do?
Because the signals are generated in the muscles of the heart itself. There is a modified tissue. In class 8 you have studied, don't ask like that. In class 8 you have studied. Which node is there?
Sinoatrial node.
SA node, sinoatrial node. It is there in the heart, and it is a modified heart tissue. It is not a nerve. It is not something that is coming from the brain. Indirectly, the sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system can control the activity of the heart. For example, by emotion, shock, the person heartbeat may increase. Okay, so that is indirectly. Nervous system also indirectly, sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system can influence the heart rate. Okay, but the impulse is generated itself by the tissue of the heart, that is modified muscle of the heart, that is the SA node, sinoatrial node. So this is the muscle tissues. Next, we have the another tissue that is remaining, that is the nervous tissue. So first point here is, nervous tissue is made up of what? It is made up of neurons. Some students say that nervous tissue is made up of nerves. Is there any difference between nerves, neurons?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So even in your class 8 also we studied both circulatory system and also this what we say, the nervous system. Okay, so there also we saw that nerves. Okay, so here the nervous system is made up of the neurons. The neurons are different from the nerve because neurons are this individual building blocks unit. Okay, this kind of structure, in which there is a cell body. This is the cell body. Okay, the cell body is known as the, simpler diagram is given in your textbook, you follow that one. Okay, this is only for the presentation purpose I am showing this diagram. In your textbook it is given a simple diagram, you follow that. So what is given? So that is page number 29. Okay, there is the perikaryon. So there will be cell body something like this, and from here there will be some structures that are coming out, and there will be a long thin fiber, and that will be terminated into some kind of short branches. Okay, so this structure is the, what we say, the perikaryon or cyton or cell body. Why it is called perikaryon? Karyon means what?
Nucleus.
Nucleus. Yes, something to do with the nucleus. eukaryotic, prokaryotic, we studied. So peri means something is like a perimeter, outer circumference. So this is in the peripheral region of this nucleus. Okay, nucleus is a very prominent structure here, and this whatever this peripheral region, this area is there, that is called perikaryon, the cyton, or the cell body. Because if you see remaining part of the cell hardly having cytoplasm, very thin structures are like this. Okay, so this is the major structure which is called a perikaryon, cyton, or cell body, and it has these kind of fibers which are known as the
Dendrites.
dendrites. The central part of this nerve cell is a thin cylindrical structure which is called the axon. Axon, axis, okay, something like an axis, long axis, axon. It may have some kind of covering over it, some membrane covering over it.
Myelin sheath.
That is known as the myelin sheath. Okay. So this myelin sheath will prevent the loss of the electrical activity or impulse that is going through this long axon. And ultimately in the end we will have the axon terminals. Okay. So these axon terminals will join with the dendrites of the next neuron. So what is this? This is a neuron. Okay. It's a neuron, it's not a nerve. A nerve is a bundled axons. Okay. So what will happen is there may be a few tens or hundreds of nerve cells. Okay, and for example spinal cord is there, vertebral column, spinal cord. In the spinal cord very long nerves are there. Okay, starting from head going up to the toe, like that kind of nerves are also there. So what is happening is there is a limited space, no, limited space. So inside that many times what happens is there are a few neurons or many neurons. This part of that neuron, that is the axon part, they will be almost like bundled or fused. So that is why it will appear in some kind of a gray color or something. Okay, and it will seem that actually it may be some blood vessel. Is it a blood vessel? You will feel like that, but actually it is a nerve. It is a nerve. So a nerve is not a neuron. A nerve is a bundled axon. A neuron is this single unit. Okay, this whole structure is the neuron. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, I think that covers this chapter, different types of plant tissue and animal tissue. Okay, couple of questions I will ask, that is there in the progress check. Axons of nerve cells are very long. Yes, that is true. Dendrons bundled together form a nerve. Is it correct?
No,
Axons.
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 The axons bundled together.
Yeah, cardiac muscles get tired soon. That is a very stupid question. Yeah. Epithelial cells leave space in between. Epithelial cells leave space in between. That is intercellular space, whether it is more in epithelial cells. Epithelial cells are what type of tissue? We call them as the squamous epithelial. Okay, different epithelial cells are there, but when you look at the epithelial cells, whether they are very far from each other or they are very closely packed. They are closely packed. If you have so much space between the cells, then your skin will easily come off, right? We don't want so much space between the cells. We want the cells to be firmly attached with each other, very less intercellular space. Perikaryon is the nucleus of a nerve cell. Is it true or false? Perikaryon is the nucleus of a nerve cell. No one able to answer?
Sir, false.
False.
Sir, false.
False,
Sir,
because
false. It contains space.
yeah, it is what you can tell the actual major body part of the of the nerve cell is the pericardion.
The top of the
Yes. The muscles of the iris of the eye are of voluntary type.
True.
False.
It is false.
False,
No?
involuntary.
It's involuntary. You cannot control how much light is going to enter your eye and all. That is happening involuntary by itself. Cartilage has no blood vessels or
True.
the nerves in it. Yes, that is true. Cartilage
True.
don't have any blood vessels or nerves. Okay, so in this chapter you can solve end of the chapter questions. Okay, any doubts you have, you may ask. I'll take the attendance. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.